I thought those were the ones I told you about last time.
What, these?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who's these are. I don't know. It's like I'm gonna have to borrow them today. I don't know where my glasses went.
Let's see. Just popped up on my phone. Let's see how the sound is. You can hear it a little bit, but it's not bad.
What is that static?
It's probably like a chord or something.
But there was no static when they did the show.
Yeah, it's definitely a chord.
I don't understand what's wrong with that. Let me see.
Deuteronomy.
Here, 31.
It's loud though. That's one thing I do got. That speaker on that camera is crazy.
It's not really like static. That's like,
It's loud though.
I can hear you clearly. It's not really like.
Maybe it's my phone.
I don't know. It's a while though.
Deuteronomy what?
31. 31. All right, Shalom Israel, Shalom Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatam to the brothers, Shalom Yahweh Shema Dava Hashem Yahushua to the sisters. We at the Isupk Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Command of General Yohana. And we've been teaching the truth that all so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are the Israelites of the Bible. We've been teaching the truth since 1969, and also that the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And as usual, you know, we want to be covering kind of a couple of things for real. I don't know if anybody keeps up, like, you know, what's going on with the news and stuff. We're going to be talking about a little about of what it means to actually be a man. What is misogyny, or what does it mean to be misogynistic? We're going to be talking about a little bit of this guy Andrew Tate, and I'm not sure if anybody else knows of this brother, but it's a brother. He's one of the top YouTubers in the world, actually, at least from my understanding. Corey Kenshin, who's also a brother. And the reason why we're talking about these topics and these brothers today is because we can try to ignore it all we want. There's always been an agenda against so-called blacks and Latinos, okay? And that agenda, one of them, is to emasculate men. Make the men feminine and make the women masculine. And you can see it all on TV, these shows, social media, whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to give it away too much. You got anything else before we start the class?
No, not for the introduction. That's pretty much nails it all.
Okay, yeah, I wanted to save the rest of it for actual class. So we'll just we got a lighter.
Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, it's a locket. I'm supposed to get on it. It's right here. It was on the table.
It might be good.
Oh, there it is.
All right.
What I was gonna say, too?
What's up?
I was gonna say, maybe, I don't know if you want to do live again. Like live after we do the prayers. Like take That's up to you.
I might do it. Here's the this there. All right. Yeah, I might do it.
H. Right about I was getting hot or not? That shit.
Nah, I should be getting hot. Yeah, it's 12.
All right.
All right, so we'll just get started. With that Amadium, just me and the brother up here.
title. They're like, who the hell are these dudes?
Sorry, it's me. Sorry.
La Yasharala.
Sorry, it's me. Sorry.
There it is.
There you go.
Find it. Definitely got to find it.
Sorry, it's me. Got it. Right. Amadim upon Yahakodam, which means to stand or rise and face the east. It's the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Wadash.
Wadash.
Ayah.
Ayah.
Shemka.
Shemka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Malak with Ka.
Malak with Ka.
Taba'ah.
Taba'ah.
Ratazaka.
Ratazaka.
Ayah.
Ayah.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Barataza.
Barataza.
Kawa.
Kawa.
Ayah.
Ayah.
Bashamayim.
Bashamayim.
Atamanawa.
Latayanawa.
Lakum.
Lakum.
Call.
Call.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Wasalak now.
Wasalak now.
Kabawat now.
Kabawat now.
Wasalak now.
Wasalak now.
Kabawat now.
Kabawat now.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Tabaya now.
Paraya now.
Manasaiwan.
Parasaiwan.
Abal.
Abal.
Awashai now.
Awashai now.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Rai.
Rai.
Kaya.
Haya.
Laka.
Laka.
Kamalakwa.
Kamalakwa.
Waha'ala.
Wala'ala.
Watapara.
Watapara.
Lawalumya.
Walalanyam.
Aman.
Aman. The Lord's Prayer in the English. Our Father,
Our Father,
which art in heaven,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done
In earth.
as
As it is in heaven.
it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day
Our daily bread.
our daily bread.
And forgive us our
And
debts.
forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not
And lead us not
into temptation.
into temptation.
But deliver
But
us
deliver us
from evil.
From evil.
For thine is the
For
kingdom.
thine is the kingdom
And the power.
and the power
And the glory.
and the glory
Forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it. Hakak, which is the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
Baba Kasha.
Baba Kasha.
Lathan
Latanyanawa.
Hakak.
Hakah.
Hakak.
Hakah.
Larapa'ah.
Lapara.
Call.
Hakah.
Makala.
Makala.
Wakal.
Wakah.
Madawa.
Madawa.
Hakak.
Hakah.
Latahar.
Latahar.
Ha.
Ha.
Matazorayim.
Matazarayim.
Hakak.
Hakah.
Lahaquayim.
Lachwayim.
Hamathim.
Hamathium.
Hakak.
Hakah.
Ayel.
Al.
Rakawath.
Rakawath.
Hatama'ala.
Tama'ala.
Garshun.
Garasham.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
Thawada.
Thawada.
Aman.
Amen. Hakak, the power in the English. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushai.
In the name of Yahushai.
Please.
Please.
Give us the power.
Give us the power.
The power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the
The
lepers.
power to cleanse the
The
lepers.
power to raise the
The
dead.
power to raise the
The
dead.
power against unclean
The
spirits.
power against unclean
To
spirits.
cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of
In the
Yahushai.
name of Yahushai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. The blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Wa Yahushai.
Wa Yahushai.
Wa Mayaka Allah.
Wa Ma'ak'Allah.
Wa Alahayim.
Wa Alahayim.
Matazab Ya'ah.
Matazab Ya'ab.
Alawap Yahana.
Alawap Yahana.
Ha Alawapyim.
Ha Alawapim.
Ha Saranyim.
Ha Saramyim.
Ha Kwatazayoyim.
Ha Kwatazayoyim.
Ha Kayayoyim.
Ha Chayoyim.
Wa Ha'akwathim.
Wa Agwathim.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
Thawada.
Tawada.
Aman.
Amen. The blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahushai.
And Yahushai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yohana.
Commanding General
The
Yohana.
generals.
The generals.
The captains.
Captains.
The officers.
Officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushai.
In the name of Yahushai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah.
Ashah.
Ayunya.
Ayunya.
All.
All.
Ahoyim.
Ahayim.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Yaba'ah.
Yaba'ah.
Izoria.
Isaiah.
Izoria.
Isaiah.
I'm.
Ain.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Shemayim.
Shemayim.
Ratazah.
Ratazah.
All.
All.
Yathan.
Lathan.
Lamawat.
Amawat.
Ragolka.
Galka.
All.
All.
Yanawam.
Anwam.
Shemorka.
Shamarka.
Ana.
Hana.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yanawam.
Yawam.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Yayashun.
Yayasham.
Shawamar.
Shawamar.
Yasharala.
Yasharala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka,
Shamarka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Tazarka,
Tazarka,
Ayad,
Ayad,
Yimimka,
Yimka,
Yawamam,
Yawam,
Hashamash,
Hashamash,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Yakaka,
Yakaka,
Wayarak,
Ma'arath,
Balayallah,
Balayla,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamarka,
Yashamarka,
Nakal,
Nakal,
Rai,
Rai,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Ath,
Ath,
Napashka,
Napaska,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Taza'athka,
Taza'athka,
Wabawa'athka,
Wa'athka,
Maita,
Maita,
Wa'ai,
Wa'ai,
Iwalam.
Psalms 121 in English. I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from the Lord.
My help cometh from the Lord,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade.
The Lord is thy shade
Upon thy right hand.
upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve
The
thee
Lord shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve. The Lord shall preserve thy going out
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in
from this time forth
from this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim,
Alahayim,
all, Damayalaka,
Damayalaka,
all,
all,
Takarash,
Zakarash,
all,
all,
Tashakwat,
Ashakwat,
all, Kaya,
Kaya,
Hana,
Hana,
Awayebyaka,
Yibika,
Yahama,
Yahama,
Yawan,
Yawam,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
Ail,
Al,
Amaka,
Yamaka,
Ya'ayamwa,
Ya'ayamwa,
Sawada,
Sabada,
Waita,
Waita,
Yatazawa,
Yatazawa,
Ail,
Al,
Tazapawinyaka,
Tazapawinyaka,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Lakawa,
Lakawash,
Unakakidim,
Wadakakinam,
Wagoya,
Wagoya,
Wala'a,
Wala'ah,
Yazakar,
Yazakar,
Shum,
Shum,
Yasharala,
Yasharala,
Awada,
Awada,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Yatazawa,
Yatazawa,
Laba,
Laba,
Yakadwa,
Yakadwa,
Alika,
Ayaka,
Baryath,
Baryath,
Yakarathwa,
Yakarathwa,
Ahoya,
Aharya,
Adawam,
Adawam,
Wayashama Aliam,
Why Ashama Adam,
Mawa Abba,
Mala'aba,
Wahagoyim,
Wagayam,
Gabal,
Gabal,
Wamawan,
Wamalam,
Wamalak,
Wamalat,
Kalashah,
Palashah,
Am Yashabia,
Yashabya,
Tazawar,
Tazawar,
Gum,
Gum,
Ashawar,
Ashawar,
Nalawa,
Nalawa,
Imam,
Imam,
Hiawa,
Hiwa,
Zorawai,
Zarwai,
Labunya,
Labunya,
Lawat,
Lawat,
Salah,
Salah,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Laham,
Laham,
Kamadyam,
Kamadyam,
Kasaya,
Kasaya,
Sara'ah,
Sara'ah,
Kayabyan,
Kayabyam,
Banakor,
Banakal,
Koyashwan,
Kayashwam,
Nashamarwa,
Nashabawa,
Bayan,
Bayan,
Dara,
Darwa,
Hiawa,
Hiwa,
Daman,
Daman,
La'adama,
La'adama,
Shayatamwa,
Shaitamwa,
Nada,
Nada,
Yamawa,
Yamawa,
Kaibrab,
Karab,
Wakaza Abba,
Kaza'aba,
Wakaza Bak,
Kazaba,
Wakata Zolmanai,
Zamanai,
Call,
Kal,
Nasayakamwa,
Nasayakama,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Nayarasha,
Narasha,
Lanawa,
Nalawat,
Ath,
Ath,
Nawath,
Nawat,
Alahayim,
Alahayam,
Alahaya,
Alahaya,
Shayatamwa,
Shayatamwa,
Kagogala,
Kagogala,
Kakwash,
Kakwash,
Lapunya,
Lapunya,
Rawaka'a,
Maka'a,
Ka'ash,
Ash,
Alaira,
Ira,
Ya'ira,
Ira,
Wa,
Wa,
Kalahaba,
Kalaba,
Kalahat,
Malahat,
Karayum,
Haryam,
Kun,
Kun,
Tharadama,
Tawadatma,
Wasairaka,
Wasirika,
Wabasa,
Wabasa,
Shlagia, Wapafka,
Wapafka,
Tabahalam,
Tabalam,
Mala'a,
Wala'ah,
Panyahum,
Palaham,
Kola 1,
Kalawam,
Waya,
Waya,
Wakwashwa,
Wakwashwa,
Shemka,
Shamka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Yabashwa,
Yabashwa,
Waya,
Waya,
Bahawa,
Bahawa,
Adiai,
Adiai,
Waya,
Waya,
Kaparwa,
Pawa,
Waya,
Gabaya,
Abadwa,
Abadwa,
Waya,
Waya,
Dayawa,
Daiwa,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Atha,
Atha,
Shemka,
Shamka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Labadka,
Labatka,
Alyawan,
Ayawam,
Alcohol,
Akal,
Harataza.
Paratiza. Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O God.
O God.
For lo.
Thine
Enemies make a tumult.
Thine enemies make atonement.
And they that hate thee.
And they that hate
have lifted up the head.
have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people.
Against thy people.
And consulted.
Against
thy hidden ones.
Against thy hidden ones.
They have said.
Come.
And let us cut them off. From being a nation.
That
the name of Israel.
May
be no more remembrance.
For
they have consulted together.
With
one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom. And the Ishmaelites.
Of
Moab. And the Hagarenes. Gabal. And Ammon. and Amalek, the
the
Philistines,
Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur also is joined with them.
Assur also is joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah. Do unto them
Do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as to Jabin,
as to Jabin,
at the brook of Kison,
at the brook of Kison,
which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like Ored,
Made their nobles like Ored,
and like Zaid.
and like Zaid.
Yea, all their princes as Zabah,
All their princes as Zabah,
and as Almunah,
and as Almunah,
who said,
who said,
let us take to ourselves
let us take to ourselves
the houses of God in possession.
the houses of God in possession.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Make them like a wheel,
Make them like a wheel,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth a wood,
as the fire burneth the wood,
and as the flame set the mountains on fire.
and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
So persecute them
So persecute them
with thy tempest,
with thy tempest,
and make them afraid
make them afraid
with thy storm.
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy name.
O Lord,
O Lord,
let them be confounded
let them be confounded
and troubled
in trouble
forever.
forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that men may know
that thou, whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the Most High
art the Most High
over all the earth.
over all the earth. Sorry, it's me. He's gonna pull that down a little bit. All right, so we're going to be reading out of the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 1. Reading the first 7 verses in the Hebrew. And then we'll give the breakdown in the English. Stop it. I'm going to close the store real quick.
Oh,
Is the fan?
no, it's not.
What they call interference?
I doubt it. I'm gonna get to reading. You said verse 1?
31 and 1 again.
All right. So this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 31 and verse 1 in the Hebrew. La'ah wa ya lara mashaha wa ya da ba bara ataya ha dabara rayam ha laha alaya kalaya shar waya mara alaham ba bazama ma'aha wa I shara rayam shanaha anaka kaya haya wam la our kala I would da la taza at wala bawa wayaha waha I'm a ra alaya la I bara ata haya radaza haza ha waha Allah ya ra ha ha hawa I ba ra la la pa la pa na yar ha hawa yasha maya da ata haga wayam la ha malapa na ya are why ya Russia thumb um uh ashara ashar da ya thor yahawa Allah ya ra shama ha washa bata I da ya ha Allah ha ya ra washa ma aita ba kwa la wa kala ashara aba ana kaya mataza ra ta ya wam ataha waba na ya bakala la la bra waba kala na pasha sharar washa ba yahawaha Allah ya ra ata shaba wataya ra wa ra ta ra kwa ra washa ba wa kwa batazara makala ha mayam ashara hapa ya tazara ya waha Allah ya ra shama ha ama ya hawa ha nada kha ra ba ba ka kwa hasha mayam masham ya ka batazai ra yahawa Allah ha ra wamasha wamasham wa kwa kara wahaba ara yahawaha Allah ha ra Allah ha Allah ha ara na ashara ashara ra Russia wa abata ra waya ra shataha wahaya ga bara waha waha ra bara bata ra uh zamala Yahweh Allah ra ata laba ra ata la laba ba uh zara ra la aha baha ata hawaha alaha ra la laba ra.
What verse?
I'm about to be on 7 in a second.
Okay.
Well, I'm on 7. Allah ra ata kala la lawata ala ha I la yabara za la ya ra ashar rada pawal Robert la ra da pawar. All right, that's
it. Okay. All right, let's clap it up for the Most High. All right, so we're going to be reading out of the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 31 and verse 1.
30 minutes in.
Yeah, we got done with it pretty like fast.
That was not 30.
You said what?
I said 30 minutes. That was fast.
All right, so the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 1. And Moses sent and spake these words unto all Israel. And he said unto them, I am 120 years old this day. I can no more go out and come in. Also the Lord has said unto me, Thou shalt not go over this Jordan. The Lord thy God, he will go over before thee, and he will destroy these nations from before thee, and thou shalt possess them. And Joshua, he shall go over before thee, as the Lord hath said. Verse 4. And the Lord shall go unto them as he did to Sihon, and to Og, kings of the Amorites, and unto the land of them whom he destroyed. Before we continue real quick, I just want people to understand like the nature of the Most High. Like the Lord is about warfare. Okay, life is about warfare. I can't stand when Christians try to preach this idea of everybody is what is it? God loves everybody. He's all about peace and harmony and stuff. And it's like, no, like the Most High is a man of war. You got to understand the nature of that. He conquers. He wants Israel to conquer, to be above all nations. That's in the Bible. Okay. Multiple times throughout the Bible, it doesn't say that, all men are created equally and all nations are created equally. And we'll get into a little bit of the role of what a man is and stuff, right? But if you're an Israelite, a so-called black, Latino, or Native American with an Israelite forefather, I got to stress that because there's a lot of people out there who get very confused with that term. They think like, oh, not all African Americans are Israelites, and like, yeah, you're right, not all of them. Some of them got white daddies. I'm talking about the ones with the black daddies. Okay, that's what we're talking about. If you are a man that serves the Lord, you are going to have a certain character about you, a certain type of nature. You're not going to be soft and feminine and weak and emasculated, which is the agenda that America I can't even say just America, but just this world tries to push to men, right? So we're reading the nature of, the Most High. Like, we're reading how the Most High conquers, wants Israel to conquer, right? Verse 5, and it says, "And the Lord shall give them up before your face, that ye may, so like it, that ye may do unto them according unto all the commandments which I have commanded you. Be strong and of good courage, fear not, nor be afraid of them. For the Lord thy God, he it is that doth go with thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee." So right here it says, "Be strong and of good courage." So the Most High is telling you, to be brave. Be brave, fear not, be masculine, right? America likes to use this term constantly of toxic masculinity all the time. And I'm just so sick of it, because what makes masculinity toxic? Toxic masculinity is when a woman is masculine. That's toxic masculinity, because a woman is not supposed to be like that. But a brother who takes charge and takes command of his household, who's assertive and aggressive, and he's a man, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Because I guarantee you, if a house burned down, you're not going to want the LGBTQ community coming in and try to come save you. No, you're going to want a big, strong firefighter to come in there and bust down that door and save you and your kids. Okay? And to be a firefighter, I mean, you got to be brave. You got to be brave. You can't call up some brothers to come save you, and then they're afraid to go inside of the house. No, they got to suck it up. They have to build up their courage and ignore fear and be masculine men in order to save you. That's the whole thing. When I mean, good night. When we go to war, when any nation goes to war, do they send the alphabet community to go do it? You see a bunch of men in skirts and tutus and the long nails and wigs. No, you see men who are masculine and who obey orders and fight for their nation. That's what it means to be masculine. Okay? And it says in verse 7, "And Moses called unto Joshua and said unto him in the sight of all Israel, Be strong and of good courage." Here it is again, "Be strong and of good courage, for thou must go with his people unto the land which the Lord hath sworn unto their fathers to give them, and thou shalt cause them to inherit it." Another thing I want to go over too. A lot of people like to say, you need to forget about the past. The past is the past. Slavery's over. Let me tell you something. When 9/11 happened, what's the message that they always say to America? Never forget. When the Jewish, not the real Israelites, but the Jewish went through the Holocaust, do you see people going to the Jewish talking about hey, you need to forget about that. Peace and love. No, they never forgot about what happened, right? They know who their enemies are. Do you think anybody's going to Japan and telling them, let's forget about the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki? No, they remember everything. So you got to take that into consideration when people try to tell you to forget about slavery. No, don't ever forget about slavery. I mean, there's literally a saying, those who don't know about their past are doomed to repeat it. There's a reason why that's there. And also, the Most High does not forget. That's why he's referred to as the Ancient of Days. He remembers everything. Why do you think all these plagues and whatnot are happening to America and around the world for that matter? Because the Most High understands that there's a debt that got to be paid. All these heathens that have done horrible things to the Israelites, and also, sadly, there are some brothers and sisters who have continued to be wicked. There's a price to pay. That's just how it is. What is it? Habakkuk 2:12. I'm paraphrasing. Woe unto a nation that's built, or a town that's built off the blood. Well, America is literally built off of the backs of blacks and Latinos and Native Americans who were slaves and were murdered in place of conquering this land. So there's never going to be peace here. There's never going to be peace in America. It's just never going to happen. There's never going to be peace all around the world until Christ comes back. And, well, realistically, there's going to be a lot of other things happening before peace even comes into play. There's going to be a lot of conquering that's going to be going on. But the main topic today is the agenda that our oppressors constantly try to bring to our people. This is just one. The emasculation of Black and Latino men. Okay. I don't even know how do I begin this. Okay, Andrew Tate, right? Andrew Tate, he's a brother. for those of y'all who don't know, he's a brother. His father is African American. His mother's white. He's still an Israelite. He's not in the truth. Let's just get that clear right now. He's not in the truth. He is in the world. Okay, and he does worldly things, he's a celebrity, all that good stuff. However, I thought what was going on was very interesting. So he's preaching this message of a man should be a man. A man should be assertive. He should take charge. He should command. And at least on that part, I can agree with him on that. Like, yeah, a man should be a man. And you see him on all these different podcasts with all these different people, women, and they're saying, what they say about us? We're misogynistic. He views women as a possession, yada, 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 right? And, you see some of his interviews. Again, he's in the world. I'm not vouching for everything that this man does. But one thing that I will agree with him on is what a man should be. And he's even said that the message that he's trying to put out for young men is you're not going to get anywhere in life by being feminine and waiting around with your hand held out thinking that somebody's going to come save you. You gotta put in the work. You got to put in the effort. You got to strive to succeed. And I'm like, okay, at least on that part, that's a positive message. I could rock with that. But now they're saying that he's misogynistic, which is crazy because what is misogyny? Misogyny is somebody that hates women. That means you hate women, right? Now you turn on the TV. I mean, there's a million rappers out there who call women all types of derogatory terms, disrespects them, beats them, do all types of stuff. Y'all don't call them misogynistic. Y'all don't say anything about them. I've seen sisters that'll go to a concert with a man on there calling them the B word, calling them whores, all that. And they just, oh my God, yes, babe, all that stuff. I'm like, this man is literally insulting you. But nobody thinks you're misogynistic when that happens. But now that this brother, again, I'm only agreeing with this portion, is pushing this mindset of a young man should be a man. Not only is he being called misogynistic, they banned him. And at first I didn't believe it. I'm like, there's no way. But they banned him on Facebook. They banned him on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all forms of social media. They banned him altogether. Now I'm thinking, okay, he must have did something like pretty crazy for you to get banned off of social media, right? Like, there's people that kill people. You understand? He must have did something, right? And then, what is this?
I mean, it's not really saying nothing inappropriate, but if he doesn't stop putting stuff like that, I'm about to block him.
Yeah, you do what you got to do. I don't know who that is. But, I lost my train of thought. But my point is, I'm thinking like, okay, Andrew Tate must have did something crazy for him to get banned, right? And then matter of fact, I got it right here. I'm going to read it real quick. They actually said the real reason why they banned him. It says, the ban comes after the 35-year-old's comments were branded to be wildly misogynistic by activist groups. In videos originally uploaded to YouTube, Tate appeared to claim that women should stay at home and that women belong to their male partners. I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with what he just said. So he's banned because he said women should stay at home and that women belong to their male partners. I don't know. Not help me out. I'm confused. Like, what was wrong with what he said?
Because what he's saying is not the new, how can I say? It's not the new protocol of what they want as far as when it comes to the woman counterparts now.
Right.
Now they want the woman to run the man. And they can't do that when men are speaking their truth, because the truth can be attracting. The truth is very, very attracting when it comes to not just saying like, a woman's place is just, like her only sense of value is within her home. Not saying something like that, but because if I'm saying like, okay, if I'm agreeing that that's the truth, then I'm saying that, a woman is her husband's possession.
That is,
that if you believe in the God in the Bible, then you should adamantly agree, with that type of quote, because that's literally written in the Bible that a woman is a man's possession. being a man's possession. What is that? Like, how do you define that? What is that? You know what I mean? When you're a possession, you're something that you're something that is not something that has no sense of value. You're something that is, how can I say? Man, it's a word in the back of my head. I just cannot get it out of there. But you're okay, like a man, like how a man treats anything that he holds dear to him. You know what I mean? A man's whole aspect in life is he's willing to die what he loves. You know what I'm saying? Die for what he loves. So, you know what I mean? If you're in a man's possession, like your duty is to be a representation of that man. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like how we get into the truth and now our life is not our own no more. You know what I mean? When you step into a marriage and you become a man's possession, your whatever your personal aspect of what you thought yourself was, it doesn't mean anything anymore because now what you are, your life is based on being a representation of that man. So if your husband lacks of, is because you lack of. If your husband is not feeling like, you know what I mean, is feeling something that he feels like is like missing, is because you didn't take in that time period to know your man enough to be able to figure out, you know what I mean, how he ticks, how he moves, what is his, you know what I mean? You're not focusing on yourself so much. Just like how you become a parent, you know what I mean? And now it's not about you no more. Same thing when you become a wife. You know what I mean? It's not about you no more. It's about same thing when you become when you get into the truth and you become a soldier in this. You know what I'm saying? It's not about you no more. Everything that you felt that was carnal, that you felt upon yourself as far as your own representation, it means nothing anymore because now you can't be great and your husband is not great. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. A man can't be great if and his wife is just, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It correlates with each other perfectly. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But being a possession means that you are under the care of that man. You're under your whole representation is off of you and onto that man. You know what I mean? How he ticks, how he gets it through his day to day. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much all I got with it. Freaking yeah, like that should be the situation as far as what they want, as far as like silencing men who um speak in such a bold way, such a confident way. They don't want men to be confident anymore. They don't want. Okay, he's blocked. They don't want men to be masculine no more. You know what I'm saying? They don't want man to. They don't want man to be. How can I say?
They don't want
Are you pretty much masculine? Just
yeah, they don't want to
they,
be
they don't want you to be confident anymore. They want you to be under the woman. Like you see in all the television programming, all of the narrative that's being pushed, they want the women to feel like they're just better off without a man. You know what I mean? You're better off without a man. You're better off just not dealing with men anymore. You're better off just, you know what I mean? You're better off by yourself. And you know what I mean? He can't do this to you, or he can't do this to you. And you know what I mean? They try to use things that probably happened in like a relationship that went sour or something like that, and just use it as the end all be all product for a man. You see it on all the Tyler Perry movies. A man can't do no right in a Tyler Perry movie. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
You know
Oh,
what I'm saying? Like you see it all in like, you know what I mean? Just look at all the programming that they put in front of you. It's always the woman who's the hero. The woman is always the main aggressive, you know what I mean? Has all the testosterone, like just ready to die for whatever. But the man is always looking like he's on P Valley. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like he's just it's always some type of LGBTQ situation when it comes to men now. And if he's not that, like, okay, let me get a prime example. You know what I mean? Because I'm a father. You know what I mean? My daughter, she watches Encanto a lot. Encanto is like it's a cartoon and it's based on like the Mexico region.
Okay.
Yeah. So in that movie, it's the women running the house. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
The
the
grandma runs
matriarchy.
the house and it trickles down, and you see the men who are in the house, they're just real like, you know what I mean, real beta males. Like they just take after the woman. They don't really say much. It's not like the characters really mean nothing. And then you have Bruno, which is a favorite song. We don't talk about Bruno. You know what I mean? That Bruno's like he's the only male in his family. Everybody else is just females, and he gets kicked out. You know what I mean? The grandma kicked him out the house, so he's just he's living in the walls, just watching how his family live. Like it's real beta malish. Like it's like you don't get a sense of no masculine men in the house, like no masculine anything, no masculine energy at all, other than coming from the grandma. You know what I mean? So it's showing you, not saying that, you know what I mean, not saying that it's wrong for a woman to lead her household. If she doesn't have a man in the house, of course she's gonna have to lead. And when that man leaves the house, she has to lay down his law. You know what I'm saying? She's the one that has to make sure that his law, when he's not around, is always being pushed in the home. So not saying that it's wrong for a woman to run the household. It's just, you know what I mean, there is a order that comes with it. You know what I mean? As you get in Corinthians, you know what I'm saying? We're talking about God first, then Christ, then the man, then the woman. You know what I'm saying? That order should always be, especially when you have a man in the house. You should not feel like, oh, you should be equal in the house. And not saying that, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that you're lesser than because of that situation. It's taking the order that the Most High gave to us. You know what I'm saying? A woman's supposed to be a helpmeet. You're not supposed to be ruling. If you have some charge of your man and you telling him to do this and that, and you know what I mean, and he has to do it, then there's obviously something wrong with this situation.
Right.
Because he should be the one laying down the foundation of the household. He should be the one. You should have chose him because of the decisions that he makes that are, you know what I mean, because he makes the right decisions and he leads perfectly. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have chosen because you feel like, oh yeah, well I can tell him what to do. He's gonna, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, if I may, that's if I could real quick, could you get this precept for me? It's the one where it says that Sarah even called Abraham Lord. I believe it's in First Peter. But pretty much, yeah, like the whole the you can see like the subliminal messages that it's not even really subliminal anymore. The messages that they try to put on all these different TV shows. We were just talking about like another one, She-Hulk. She-Hulk, like, I mean, look, like I said, I think we talked about this briefly last time. I'm a huge Marvel fan, stuff like that. Everybody knows who the Hulk is. Everybody knows who Bruce Banner is and stuff like that. He's the Hulk. He's supposed to be like, you know, the epitome of like testosterone or something like that. But then, you know, as time goes on, you know, you start to see the Hulk kind of get, you know, he got his behind whooped one time, and now he's like very like, they call him Smart Hulk. Now, I'm not gonna get too much into, you know, the comic book aspect of it. I'll get into like the show aspect of it. So I watch this show now, She-Hulk. Like I said, I love Marvel. I love Marvel. I watch She-Hulk. In the show, they constantly like try to emasculate the Hulk, who's the male counterpart, but they try to make She-Hulk, who is the female counterpart, like superior to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, why is it every single time when you have to boost up the woman, you have to emasculate the man?
Right.
Like you see it all the time. What's that new movie? Prey. I haven't watched it yet. I heard it was a great movie, right? But then they said like the main focus, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, it's a woman, right?
Which show was it?
Prey. The new movie.
Oh yeah.
The Predator.
Yeah.
And like, you know, it's the woman. Now, here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with women acting in a movie. There's nothing wrong with actresses and stuff, but you got to see the agenda that they're constantly trying to push.
Right.
They do not like the idea of masculine men. Let's see. I don't know who that is. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with what exactly? If you can put it in the chat, go ahead. Commentate W. Oh my goodness, here we go. But my whole point is like, you cannot sit here and think that it is okay to constantly emasculate men. Like realistically, what's wrong with being masculine for a man? What is wrong with that? I don't like you got to really look at it. Like, what is wrong for a man taking charge of his household? I was raised in a household where my father was in charge Okay, my dad always told me, one day you're gonna grow up and you're gonna be the head of the household. My grandfather told me the same thing, my uncles told me the same thing, my cousins told me the same thing, and that's what I was raised around. And guess what? When it's a man that is in charge of the household, and I'm not saying don't be a caveman. I'm not saying, beat your woman over the head with a club because she didn't make you a sandwich. Don't do no mess like that. The Bible, it says, well, I believe it's Christ that says this, right? Paraphrasing. Love your wives as if you love the church. So he's telling you to love your wife, love your wives, love the women in your lives, right? But how do you love your women though? Like, that's what I love, masculine men with intelligence and morals. Yeah, that's great. That's great. And the thing is, you should, because the thing is, if you don't have a masculine man around you, right, or you're not raised in that environment, it's like with Adam and Eve. I'm paraphrasing this one too. When Adam and Eve, anybody who knows about the Bible, right? If you don't believe in the Bible, that's fine. But anybody who knows about the Bible, we always talk about the serpent. Just so y'all clear, the serpent wasn't a literal snake. It's not a literal snake. It's a slang term, like how black people say, like, hey, that's a shady dude or whatever. He was snake, right? It was a snake-ish, sneaky character, a sly dude, if you will,
Right.
who went to Eve. But here's the context of that. Whoever this person was did not go to Adam. He went to Eve. Why did he go to Eve? It's easy. Because women are easier to prey on. The person didn't go to the man. He didn't go to the man that's in charge, because Adam most likely probably would have checked him. So, okay, what's the next best thing? Let's exclude the man. Let's go to the woman. And then what happened? The serpent beguiled Eve, meaning that he tricked Eve. And here's the cold part. What did Eve do after? Eve went to her husband and he listened to his wife. And the thing is, he knew it was wrong. People got to understand, like, I know people give Eve and women a lot of crap for a lot of this. Yes, Eve was wrong, but Adam was wrong too, because Adam, put it like this, Eve was wrong for listening to whoever this person was. When she went to her husband, Adam should have checked Eve,
right?
But he didn't.
Right.
He listened to her, and then they both fell into sin. But you see the power structure, right? They always got to find a way to remove the man or silence the man, and then you go for the woman.
Right.
They do it every time. They did it during slavery. We talk about that all the time. What do they do? They completely emasculated the man. They have a slave mentality where they keep you strong, physically fit, but mentally weak, mentally submissive, right? That's the whole point. Get the real story. The Quran is fake. The Quran is fake. Let's see. Men still need to step up. You're absolutely correct. Men do need to step up. But here's the problem. When men do step up, what happens? You get silenced. And again, I'm going to say this one more time. I don't agree with everything that Andrew Tate says. Andrew Tate is not in the Isupk. He's not in the truth. However, I do like to give credit where credit is due. The one thing I will agree with him on is the idea that a man is supposed to be masculine and assertive and, take charge. Because if you don't, then, well, who's going to do it for you?
Right.
I mean, you know what's crazy? My mother said this to me when I was younger, before they split. My mother said, I'm so glad your father raised you the way that he did. Because if you were with me, you would have been in the house. Like even my mom admitted it. She was like, you would have been in the house, probably still would have been living off of me. But she said that she was glad that my father was around to raise me the way that he did, so that I didn't end up like that. Because that's real love. A real father will teach his sons discipline. He will teach them structure. He will teach them how to properly conduct themselves. But now in today's society, if you are that kind of man, especially if you're a black or brown man, you are shut down. Yeah, you know what's crazy? I've seen that. Yeah, there's a video of him beating a woman. I have heard of that. And that's why I said, just to make this clear, Andrew Tate is not in the truth. That's why I said that I agree with some of the things that he says. In that video, apparently, I think he was on Fox News. they I guess the women came forth. This is just from what I've seen. The women came forth and said that they were role playing. Look, if they were role playing, look, what you do in your bedroom is your business. Personally, I think that's not a good look. I don't agree with that. I didn't agree with that video. I will say that much.
So he was beating her, or was he like?
So
He was
the
on some
so
kinky stuff.
so the story is that um apparently, like, she met up with him, whatever. It was like on some kinky stuff, like, but in the video he does like smack her. And,
Okay.
I was kind of like, I don't know about all that. Like, nah, I don't agree with all that. She probably got paid to say that. Who knows? I don't know. I really don't know. I can't speak on that entirely because I don't know the full story. So I hope he's not out here, being a part of some type of sex trafficking or whatever. I hope not.
Shoot, I mean, if I may, like,
Go ahead.
what you were saying was like real heavy, like, you know what I'm saying, as far as like Adam and Eve and
Oh yeah. Going
so-called serpent, which was actually just a deceiving person who was trying to push an agenda, just like how we getting on our oppressors on pushing an agenda on Eve, her pushing it to her husband, and they following the ways of taking on different knowledges other than what the Most High gave them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that is real heavy because it's just like you see the same thing with how our oppressors attack us today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're going after the woman first. Oh, you know what I mean? They try to get the man out the house to leave him vulnerable. You know what I mean? If you don't have that man in the house, who's going to protect you? You know what I'm saying? Not saying that a woman is just so weak to the point where she just can't think for herself.
Yeah.
But just saying, as far as when it comes to, see, people don't really get into warfare. You don't.
Right.
It's been so many generations since we actually had a real war. So people don't know how war goes, the spoils of war. Like America's completely spoiled people so much to the point where they don't even know what it's like when an enemy steps into your neighborhood and you know what I mean, starts to ambush and you know what I mean, take all your stuff in their house, take the women, take the children. Like women are literally a spoil of war. You know what I'm saying?
That's the same.
If a man comes and conquers a city, or if soldiers come and conquer a city, you think they're just about to say, all right, women, children, y'all go ahead and leave. We taking over. No. Those people are the children are used as like servants. You know what I mean? They're gonna have to like, you know what I mean, bring the soldiers, whatever, you know what I mean, as washing their feet and all this, washing their clothes and all this stuff like that. It's like the women are going to be used as what? You know what I'm saying? The women are going to be used for bedtime. You know what I'm saying? And when I need to get my rocks off, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not like she can say no. You know what I'm saying?
It's horrible.
Your man is dead. Your husband's dead. You have nobody else protecting you. What are you going to fight me?
And that's what they do in warfare.
Exactly.
Like, and it's a horrible thing. It is an absolutely horrible thing. Like I'm glad you said that too. That saying, spoils of war. They say that. They say that you're a spoil of war.
Right.
And the thing is, what they don't understand now, we're like, okay, people are used to, how can I say this? Like literal warfare. Like they're used to like the physical aspect, like going into a different country, raiding it, taking the resources. Like that's like the simplified version of it. People don't understand what psychological warfare.
Right.
Psychological warfare. Matter of fact, you got that precept for me? The one where it says that Sarah calls Abraham Lord.
Yeah, 1 Peter 3 and 6.
If you could you read that for me, Baba Kasha?
The book of 1 Peter chapter 6 and verse Salakia, the book of 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 6. Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord.
Calling him what?
Calling him Lord.
Okay, so it said that Sarah, who was Abraham's wife, called him Lord. Now, this is the mindset. I'll get into the war aspect in a second, right? This is the mindset that a lot of, I hate to say it, but our women especially have. They think that being submissive is like bad. And they think that being submissive makes them weak. But what a lot of sisters don't understand is you being submissive is, I think you said this, matter of fact, being feminine, being submissive, that is like, that is your power. Like this, look, if you want your man to do something, Be nice to him. Now, I give credit where credit is due. I don't pick sides, right? I understand that there's some brothers who are not fit to lead and they need to learn how to lead. They need to get rid of that mentality that's been forced upon them for ages. They probably came from a broken household, probably didn't have a daddy in their life, or they probably had a deadbeat dad, whichever one, right? Or they have given into this modern day agenda that a man is supposed to be kind of like soft. I'm giving into my feminine energy and all this other stuff. And then realistically, what they don't tell you is a lot of women don't respect you when you're like that. Like there's a difference between being liked and being respected.
Right.
And again, I'm not saying go out there and beat women. Don't do stuff like that. Like you're a piece of crap if you do stuff like that. But there is a thing about a man being assertive and being masculine that women are naturally drawn to. A woman wants you to lead, but once she feels like you can't lead, then it's like, you're just kind of there. That's what they don't tell you, okay? And it says that even in the Bible, Sarah, who was Abraham's wife, called him Lord, meaning that she respected her husband. She honored her husband, okay? She understood that that was the head of her household. And how do you destroy a household? Or my fault, how you destroy a body? I could live without an arm. I could live without a finger. I could live without a leg. But I can't live without my head. How do you cut off the body? You cut off the head. Right. It's that simple. Everything else comes crumbling down. Look at black households today whenever you see a man not there. I don't know if anybody wants to admit it, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of women out there who don't like to be single mothers. Like, I don't know who told y'all that. Like, being a single mother is not cool. It's not. Like, you got to be the mommy and the daddy. Like, no, God never wanted that for you. No, God wanted you to be a wife. God wanted you to be feminine. God wanted you to have a man in your life to help you, to guide you, to protect you. But now, it's wrong to be that. And that's psychological warfare. Because now they have trained our women to think, what? My body, my choice. Right? My body, my choice. Whatchamacallit? What do they say? It's my body, my choice. I can do whatever I want. I'm a strong, independent woman. I don't need no man in my life, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's always that mindset of, I don't need a man, I don't need a man, I don't need a man.
Right.
And it's like, who told you that? Who told you that? You like being, I'm gonna tell you right now, women don't like being single. I'm gonna just be honest with you. Black women do not like being single. Okay? If you don't believe me, why do you think when you go on TikTok, you see dozens of so-called Black and Latino women? I mean, they're beautiful, but a lot of them are single and they're on TikTok, Instagram, whatever, and they do like that. What's that little hip dance or whatever? That same little dumb hip dance. They all like dressing half naked and stuff like that. And then they'll tell you, well, it's for me. No, it's not. You're doing that for attention.
Right.
It's attention. You want somebody, preferably, I know some people don't want to say, a man, to look at you. When I'm at my job, right? Again, like not everybody that I know is in the truth. There's some brothers that I knew who were not in the truth. They go to the club, stuff like that, whatever. And they would tell me all these different things like, all they got to do is say hi to a woman. And she'll be like a 10 out of 10. Like, it'd be like women that you be thinking like, yeah, I don't got no chance with her. And all they do is say hi. And she is just so like in awe, like, oh my gosh, she paid attention to me. Because that's really what she wanted. Like, that's really what God wanted for women. Like God loves Black and brown women so much that he wants you to have a husband, to have kids, to be loved, to be taken care of, to be provided for, to be protected. But the thing is, though, you got to be a woman of that kind of stature. Okay, that's another thing. Being, promiscuous and, being the common day Cardi B's, Meg Thee Stallion, Sweetie, City Girl, all that stuff. Like, it looked cool. I think there's another one. What's her name? It's the one that Drake just co-signed. Ice Spice. It's I just heard of her. She from Brooklyn. No, Bronx. She from the Bronx. My fault. She from the Bronx. And here we go. Another sister who's, dressing half naked. And like some of her lyrics are wild. Like she calls herself a smoochie. And for anybody who doesn't know, smoochie is the equivalent of HOE. But she's like proud of it. And I'm like, that ain't it. That is not it. It's sad. Yeah, this is sad. Yeah, it is sad. It is sad. The guy talking is mad cap. I don't know. I guess everything I'm saying is a lie. But like you know, it's sad that our women think like that today. But again, what is being pushed? Who's telling them that? It's our oppressor.
Right.
Because that's the agenda that's constantly pushed on our women, and then the agenda that's pushed on the men, obviously, is to not be a man. And then when you are a man, they silence you. They get rid of you. They ban you. They find all different types of things to do to silence you and emasculate you.
Or when you speak like manly. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, they call
like,
you what are they? They say that you're too aggressive.
Yeah, like you gotta be like what's that dude's name?
Who?
Daryl Jackson or whatever
I
that
don't know
dude's
who that
name
is.
is. The dude that was just caught up, like he used to talk so much mess about man, like, oh, men are this and men are that, men are habitual cheaters and whoopty whoop whoop, and he got caught up, cheating on his wife pretty much.
Oh.
So-called cheating on his wife. You know what I mean? So he was doing all that talking, like he's famous for talking down on men. I mean, women love that. He's like the opposite of like Andrew Tate or something like that. Like he's just like all about women women should be in control, like a real Dwayne Wade type dude. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, don't be with him if he's acting like this or that and like that. Girl, you should be doing this and that. If you pay your own car note, if you pay your own cell phone bill, you shouldn't even have to listen to what a man says and stuff like he's one of those type of dudes. And he was recently caught up like cheating, like, and he tried to make it seem as if like I'll show you this after the this class. I'm pretty sure who people are like hit to. I don't know his name personally, so I shouldn't even like really get too deep into it. But but like what you were saying as far as like, man, you had said something heavy like
it says, let's see, all the positive and knowledge-filled videos, articles of music is taken down. Absolutely. Oh, that's one more thing I wanted to touch on. That's facts. Let's see. Now they say all men are narcissists. Yeah, like you see, like they try to say that toxic masculinity or you're misogynistic. Like I said earlier, a misogynist is somebody that hates women. If I'm sitting here and I'm saying, hey, I want to be the type of man that leads my household, protects my women, protects my kids, and properly guide them so that my children can grow up and they'll be self-sufficient and my wife will be safe. How is that misogynistic? We can't accomplish those types of things unless we are strong masculine men. And God commands you to be a strong masculine man. It said Christ was austere.
Wow.
Like that fake image of Caesar Borgia that y'all see like in the Christian churches where they got the pale white skin and the soft hair and the little blue eyes and stuff. That ain't Christ. That's not even how he's described in the Bible. And they say that he's very austere. I mean, he's very stern and serious. Like he didn't have a very like how can I say this? Christ wasn't pretty. I'm gonna just put it like that. Like the idea that they try to make of Christ, that's not him. What they try to push is the opposite of who he really was. Christ was about that action. Christ was about business. He was about his father's business. You understand? But they won't tell you that part. There was another precept I wanted to give before we end the class. There was somebody else I want to talk about. Corey Kenshin. I'm pretty sure a lot of people know who that is. Corey Kenshin, YouTuber, right? And I'm a fan of Corey Kenshin. I love his work. Like he plays video games, does reaction videos. He's been doing YouTube since YouTube was YouTube. And I'm glad. Who was it? Somebody said all the positive and knowledge-filled videos, articles, and music is taken down. Right. Oh, and for the music too. There's some sister. I don't listen to rock. I just recently heard about her. Her name is like Cinnamon Babe or something like that. But I think she's a Judite. I'm not sure. But anyway, she does like alternative rock or something like that. Alternative music. And I found out about her because she came out with a song. It's like I'm taking my culture back or something, but it's like a rock song. And she was bringing up how, of course, black people originated a lot of the modern day genres of music that you know of today: jazz, blues, R&B, rap, and including rock. A lot of people don't know that rock was made by black people. So she made it, and I'll just say the pale audience got very upset about it. In fact, they got so mad. I thought this was a joke until I saw a video about it. They got so mad at her for bringing up the truth about, how rock originated. They banned her. I was like, are you serious? And then the crazy part about it was apparently the story is that they banned her, and the people that banned her were mostly white people. And they even told her that they banned her because they felt like she was pushing some type of agenda. And I'm like, all she did was bring up the truth that black people originated rock, just like how we originated a lot of music genres that you know of today. So you get banned for that? And then other dude, Corey Kenshin, I mean, I don't think you can get more kid-friendly than Corey Kenshin. Corey Kenshin, he makes videos like he makes videos about playing video games and reacting to stuff. Dude doesn't even cuss in his videos. And apparently recently, due to his success, he started getting flagged for certain videos. And he was one of those brothers that I hate to admit it, as much as I like his work, he's blissfully ignorant. He didn't want to play the race card, and he didn't want to admit that YouTube was being racist. But eventually, they was getting on him so much that he had to say something. He had to say something, and now like a lot of other black content creators were pretty much getting on him, like, well, where you been at? This has been happening. There's been channels that have been taken down. There's a lot of brothers out there who make positive music, but you're never gonna hear it because it's not cool. They're not rapping about selling drugs and owning prostitutes and gang banging violence, and like they don't give into that agenda, so they don't get pushed out like that. But there's artists like that, but you'll never hear of them unless you dig for them. They're not gonna be no DaBaby. They're not gonna be no Drake or anything like that. They'll never reach that status because who runs those companies anyways? It's all white folk or the Jewish community, if I may. There was one more precept. I'm trying to remember what it was. It's the precept where it says, it's like, don't fear. No, I think it's Matthew 10:28. Matthew 10:28, if I could. But like that's the agenda that they push for, not just men in general, but specifically more so black men. They don't want you to have rulership over your household. You're misogynistic, you're this, you're that. And if a woman submits to a man, they call her a pick-me. Now it's wrong for a woman to be up under her man now.
Yeah, it's like shunned upon. Like
like they look at you like you're crazy, like you're weak. You're weak because you submit to your man. Well, I'll tell you one thing, that woman is not. She's not lonely. I'll tell you that. She got a man. She got kids. She's doing just fine in her household. And then the rest of y'all who are saying that she's the pick me, y'all go into the club to get picked, and then y'all get tossed away after.
Right.
But Slagi, if we could read that precept real quick, and then we'll end the class.
The book of Matthew, chapter 10 and verse 28.
Go ahead.
And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul. That's the one you want?
Yeah, that's the one.
But rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.
So this is pretty much talking about, this is a good precept for like, do not fear man. There was another precept, I couldn't think of it right quick, but do not fear man, but fear the Most High. Okay? We're talking about the deity that flooded the earth, that sent angels to go destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, that caused warfare. We're talking about a being that you can't even comprehend, right? And I don't care who you are, what nation you're from, or whatever. In some way, shape, or form, y'all know God is real. Y'all try to deny it. I know I bump into atheists that try to say like, oh, I don't believe in this. I don't believe in any religion. But they always say, but I do believe that something is out there. Something in your spirit knows that there's something bigger than you out there. And this is a good precept saying like, don't fear man. Like, yeah, they'll tell you, oh, you're misogynistic or you're homophobic. or they try to make up all these different labels to bring you down as a person, whether you a man or a woman. But we're just focusing more on the men right now. They try to bring you down, right? Screw that. What are they gonna do to you? Well, they're gonna call you names. They're gonna insult you. Is that it? Oh, I might get fired from my job. You'll get a new job. Oh, my wife might leave me. You'll get a new wife. You get my point? Like the things that you're going through right now, they're temporary. They're temporary. It might suck right now, yeah. It might hurt right now, yeah. But in the long run, if you stay diligent, people you gonna get what you really want. Okay? And the Most High wants that for you, but you gotta fear the Lord though. You gotta do it the right way. Like that's why I was bringing up Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate, yeah, okay. I agree with some things he says, but then of course, yeah, that I don't know what's going on in that video. And like I said, he's in the world. He's a worldly brother. Like he does worldly things. Okay, and I hope he doesn't. But I'll say this: I'm not gonna be surprised if he succumbs to what the media says about him, because it's no different than when Nick Cannon brought out how he was bringing out a little bit of the truth. Remember how he said like the Jewish come from the Caucasus Mountains and they're not the real Jews and stuff like that. And everything he said was true, but then what did they do? They tried to cancel him, and he had to make a public apology. Wow. And then who was it? Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg said something similar, and she had to make a public apology too.
Wow.
So like,
I doubt it though. Not from him, because he's not really a part of that system. About? Like Andrew Tate, like he's not going to.
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
He won't.
But all I know is this: he's not in the truth.
Yeah, right.
He's not in the truth. So
I'm pretty sure he would if he knew about it. Because,
well, I mean,
his doctrine, as far as like a man being in, like a lot of things that he says, like gravitates to like the type of mindset that we got in here.
He probably watches some of our videos for all we know.
I doubt it, because he would. It's a lot of people that I like listen to like podcasts, because I'm a podcast listener. You know what I mean? And certain people like I already know, like like even like it's funny to see Whack 100 slowly gravitating to Captain Tazariak. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, because it's like,
they watch us.
Yeah, it's like that energy.
Like,
yeah.
People know, who was it? Big Sean and them. They know who we are.
Right.
They know who we are. Like, they're in the world, But the thing is, they know who we are. Big Sean, Kanye, all these people, they know who we are. My point being is, like, with this dude in particular, I'm just using him as an example. He's not in the truth, all right? And he doesn't have the protection of the Most High he could, but he's not here. My point being is though, the only thing I will agree is the message that he is at least trying to push out, that a man is supposed to take charge and be masculine and stuff like that. And he's not the first one. Like there's other brothers who have put out that message before, but they all get silenced.
Right.
But then I can get on TikTok right now. I can get out of this class right now, and I will get on TikTok. And I will see women just completely degrading not just men, but other women. Nobody says anything to them. Nobody says anything. They're free to do all that, right? Because that's the mentality that they want our women to have today. Just be this out of control person who's emotional and says whatever she wants. That's the idea of what a strong woman is, and it's not. Because a lot of those women, like, who was it? We talked about it last time. Cardi B. I mean, yeah, she's a celebrity. She's rich, famous, all this other stuff. But then didn't she break down crying because she really just wants to be a mother. She really just want to be a mother. And I think she says like she had like demons in her house or something. Really, what it was, like, she knows the life that she's living ain't it. Like, it looks glamorous. That's another thing. Like with these celebrities, man. What they show and what's really going on behind closed doors are two different things. And that was like a good example of that. Like, she made her videos and it's so alluring to modern day women today. But then behind closed doors, this woman was breaking down crying because she doesn't like the lifestyle that she lives. And really, she just wants to be a mother. She's rich and famous. There's plenty of men out here who would love to be with her. And all she wants to do is be a mom. That's deep. Wow. That's deep, man. Like, that just shows, like, the world that we live in today, this ain't it, man. The things that are being pushed out to you that you think is so glamorous, it's not really it. You might be living on the outside, but you dead on the inside. Like that's just facts. And like I said, the whole Andrew Tate thing, I just use that as an example. There's plenty of other people who have come before him who have done the same thing, and I'm pretty sure we're going to hear about somebody else by next month. But the ISUPK has been pushing the truth since 1969 that, yeah, a man should be a man and a woman should be a woman. Because when you disrupt that power structure, then that's when things get out of whack. That's when you start having a lot more problems than when you need to. Don't no woman want a weak man. Straight up. She really don't. Like, not realistically. When crap hits the fan and she needs a man there for her and you just a weak brother, she ain't gonna have no respect for you. And vice versa. Like, a lot of brothers, oh yeah, one more thing before I end the class. A lot of you brothers out here, you go out here and you simp after these women who really you shouldn't be doing that for. But then you turn around and say, well, I want a good woman in my life. What makes you think you deserve a good woman if you're out here chasing after whores all day? It's just being real. Put your money where your mouth is. Like, you gotta practice what you preach, man. Okay, don't say it, be about it. That's all I got. You got anything I desire before we end the class?
Yeah, real quick. As far as like we talking about our oppressors' agenda, like it's their agenda to make it seem as if a man being a man in the house is him paying everything. He's a number. He's not really so much use within the household. He's just a number. He keeps everything paid for. That's a man's whole role in the house. That's their agenda to make it seem as if. And a woman's role is to lead the house. And you see all the tactics within the movies, cartoons, everything. Like, I mean, you rarely see men being masculine and being in charge anymore. You know what I mean? It's always, the woman is always the one who runs the household. Now, not just saying that within a particular way of saying that women can't be, you know what I mean, the hero in the situation. I mean, even the Bible even speaks about records of, you know what I mean, women. Yeah. Who, you got Judith, you got Susanna. You know what I mean? Susanna was willing to die other than to disrespect her, you know what I mean, reputation and her husband's reputation, and to make herself her reputation as a sinner, that she was an adulteress.
She got a whole book dedicated to
right. Like, she like, people don't know this in the Bible, that there are actually women written that are entitled in a certain category in the Bible, but that's not, there's no agenda attached to it. These are just women who are, you know what I mean, are pretty much the situation as far as showing some type of nobility, some type of notoriety towards how they hold themselves and how they, you know what I mean? So I'm not saying that speaking like a woman being the hero is a bad thing. I'm speaking as if you got to watch how your oppressors move. Like you said earlier, you said they attacked the woman first, just like in Adam and Eve. You know what I'm saying? Right. The women is the one to get attacked. And then not just Adam and Eve, you have, you know what I mean? When you have warfare, what happened with Amalek? Amalek waited for Israel to pass because we kept all of our women and old people and children in the back. And what they did was they waited for us to pass so they can attack the weaker ones first. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's all biblical. And they still do the same thing today. You see them attacking our children by putting all those things in YouTube and in TikTok and in Disney Plus and all these type of different agendas of what they want you to grow up to be. They're trying to raise your kids through what you let them sit in front of the TV screen or the phone and do. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So they want to raise your kids for you. That is an agenda, mm-hmm. And you just have to be more open to knowing that's why it's real important to know who your enemy is. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't know who your enemy is, you can get attacked and not even the way that our enemy attacks us, his words are smoother than butter. You know what I mean? Right. But war's on his heart. Right. So he's going to make it seem like he's coming to you with a rose in his hand and a dagger behind his back. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to come up to you all with the high mighty roar and armor and, you know what I mean, show how strong he is. No, because he already knows he's the weaker vessel. So how does he attack you? He attacks you by attacking your mind first. He needs to transfer your whole ways of thinking. That's why he's trying to take away the natural use of a woman. A use of a woman is to be a man's helpmeet. Now women these days don't even want a man in the house because they're using all of these aspects as far as like a man's hypersexuality and everything like that as a tool for the women to stay away from men. You know what I'm saying? Oh, just go get you another woman. Not knowing when you sit over here and you experimenting with that type of situation. I ain't gonna say it was on TikTok, but when you experiencing it with that situation, you all of a sudden realize, oh, women cheat too. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's like that. You gotta just realize who your enemy is.
Right.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American women, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American men realize that everything that is put in front of you is put there for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So it's always great to be. It's always intelligent. It's always wise to be one step ahead of what is shown in front of you because you have to understand you're being deceived for a reason. Obviously, they can't come to you straightforward for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, they got that sense of, how can I say, what's the word I'm looking for? Common sense.
Mm-hmm.
Common sense. Like they have to reach around common sense because once they start to be a little bit too bold, people start to question and people start to, you know what I mean, uproar.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they have to be real subtle. They have to be real low key. They have to be like under the cracks with it. But just notice of what's going on in front of you. You know what I'm saying? Notice what's going on in front of you. Know who your enemy is, and that's pretty much all I got.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, I just want to say thank you for everybody that tuned in. Let's see. We need more men like you. I can see 2 minutes and Kings. Thank you for your messages. I appreciate you. Said not in my. I'm not sure what that one is. But yeah, like for real though, like, you know, before we end the class, like you really got to be smart about what's going on. Like the problem with this generation now, I mean, it's been going on for a while. Like I can't even necessarily blame just the generation itself because the oppressor is just oppressing. We've become too comfortable with just accepting everything. Like it's cool to not accept certain things. Okay, that's the problem. Like we want to be liked. We want to be liked by everybody. Where like I bumped into so many brothers and sisters who really want to say what we're saying, but they're afraid of saying it because they're like, well, you know, I might get viewed like this.
Right.
My family might not like me for this. My wife might not like me for this. Like, but you know deep down somewhere in your spirit that it's the truth. It's the truth. And like you said, like all these subliminal messages, like Disney. I mean, Disney came straight out and said that they're pushing the alphabet community agenda on Disney. And like we already knew, because I mean we're adults, so like we already know like what's really going on, but like kids don't know any better. Like you're sexualizing children. Like I don't care who you are, you cannot justify that action. You cannot sit here and tell me that it is okay to teach kids who are between the ages of 1 and 9 that, you know, it's okay to have this type of sexuality, yada yada yada. They're kids. They should be playing with rocks and stuff. Like they're not like you should not be teaching that type of stuff to kids because they're children. And children are very susceptible to what you teach them.
Right.
You could teach a 5-year-old how to play the piano, he'll be a master piano player for the rest of his life.
Right.
But if you teach him like something that's bad, they're going to carry that for the rest of their life. And that's what you see with all these different television programs. They make it look fun. That's how they get you. They make it look fun. The Bible says that he's the most subtle beast in the field. There's a reason for that. They make it look very, very fun. 10 new messages. At the end of the day, accountability must be had at home. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. Trying to get a beer. Honest to most people, $2 will help. I don't know who that is.
This fool said he trying to get a beer for $2.
I don't know. I don't accept that most believes in nonsense despite it. I don't know what that's going on. But let's see. Single man here. Enjoy long blah blah blah. Let's see. But yeah, I appreciate for the people that tuned in, you know, that did like the message that we're trying to like. You gotta wake up, man. You gotta see what's going on. What's really going on in the world, man. It's only gonna get worse. It's only gonna get worse. So like for the brothers out there, to all my fellow, you know, Black and Latino brothers out there, look, man, don't be afraid.
Right.
Don't be afraid. And for the sisters too, it's okay to be submissive and feminine to your man. It's
law.
okay. It's law. Like stop giving into that mentality of hot girl summer. It ain't even summer. It's fall. It's fall now. Summer over. Like forget about it. Like hot girl summer. I think it's about to be fall. I don't know. But hot girl summer, like let it go. Hot girl summer gonna give you an STD.
Man,
don't do that.
Monkeypox.
Monkeypox. But I'll just leave it at that. So with that,
if I could too.
Oh, go ahead.
Real quick. God dang it. You know what? I'm not, because I just forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, I forgot. So God dang it. It was real good too. But God dang it. Go ahead. You mind?
Yeah, go ahead.
I forgot exactly what I was gonna say.
Too many boys, that's why we can't. That's why you gotta raise up men. But I'll leave it at that. We'll be back next week. So throughout for everybody that tuned in. And with that, shalom. We got 1,000 viewers. Nice.
That's great. All right.
Just we're gonna start it with the prayers.